I say all of that to say that you are powerless because they don't want you to have power. And as a man, you can't function without power. This is why, Reverend, men don't come to church like they should.
No.
Women are in the church.
Yeah.
Why aren't the men there? Because women are suffering for the lack of a man. Jesus was and is a man.
Amen.
So the only comfort for a woman who does not have a real man is to imagine her connection to the master himself. So she comes to church and she's so frustrated because she got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children. Sometimes from 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 different men.
Yes.
Nobody to love her. Nobody to care for her and her offspring. So she just eats herself to death. She gets fat and out of shape. She's demoralized, dispirited, disenchanted. And she comes to church and the reverend tells her, Jesus is my rock.
Yeah.
Jesus is a comforter. Jesus will do this. Well, the woman need a man to do something for her. So she get the Holy Ghost and run up and down the aisle. She gets the Spirit. But what she's really looking for is a real man of God in her life. Well, why aren't you there? Because, Reverend, the power side of Jesus is not represented. The side of comfort and consolation and mercy and forgiveness is what's mentioned, and the woman is more attracted to that because of the feminine side of her nature. But a man is made to have power and dominion. And unless the church becomes as God intended it to be and gives power to the man. How do you give power to a man? You give a man power by giving him knowledge. You don't entertain men. You teach men. Are you listening? When church becomes a big show and it's more singing and shouting and entertaining than real teaching, then the man can't get a grip on the Word of God to empower the man to go out from the church into life and deal with what is out there. So Jesus saw an ass tied.
All right now.
And brothers, you're tied up, but they have no more use for you. And in a society like this, when they don't have any more use for you, they program you for destruction. Now look at yourself. Look at yourself, brothers. Let's look. 30 years ago, white folk did not ever want to see a black man with a gun. Right in the South, if you had a shotgun on your farm, white folk would be a little careful how they come around you, especially if you would use it. because they know that thing hurts, kills. So you couldn't get guns. There was always a liquor store available to you, so that in your pain of not being productive as a man, and some of you don't even know why you're in pain, because your nature has never been explained to you. So you're in pain, don't know where the pain is coming from, don't know why you're in pain, but you're in pain because you're not productive. And no man can be a man unless he's productive. So that the alcohol man says, hey, brother, come on here. Take this for your pain. So you're a college professor, but you're in pain. Because you know, professor, something ain't right with what you're professing. You're teaching young people, and you know when they leave college, most of them will not be able to use what they spent 4 years in college trying to learn. So, in the basement of most of the professors' houses, you find a bar. And you have parties in your house. And your friends come over and you get drunk. And laugh and talk and get drunk. And get drunk and laugh and talk and tell jokes. And get drunk some more. And laugh and talk and tell jokes. And then go back to class on Monday acting like you professing. It's the same with preachers. No. Preachers are sad men too. Because most of them read the Bible about a God, but he ain't real in their life when white folk come. You understand what I'm saying? You say you believe in God. God is your rock. But don't let white folk come to your house in the midnight hour. You start saying like they said, Jesus said on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Because deep down inside, some of the most cowardly people are the people who claim to believe in God. You allow the flock to be eaten by the wolf, and the shepherd runs and hides and becomes an apologist for the wickedness of the slave master and his children. So preachers are unfulfilled too. And this is why sex is a major part of a preacher's life. Wait a minute. No. I'm not putting nobody down. Go ahead. I say, wait a minute. I know there's some good preachers. Don't misunderstand me. There are some very good pastors. But for the most part, there's too much talk among pastors about women and too little talk about serving the needs of the people that we are shepherd over. Brothers, we're all in pain. The man of God, he got his Bible, but he's in pain. The Muslim, he got his Quran, he's in pain. The agnostic ain't got no Bible, no Quran, don't believe in no God, but he in pain. Gangbangers in pain. All of us are in pain. And do you know, brothers, when you're in pain, your brain releases hormones that actually can deaden pain. This is why you could lose an arm and sometimes don't even feel it, because the trauma has released something from the brain, and when you look and your arm is gone, then pain. But before that, you didn't even know it was gone. That's how powerful the brain is. But when your pain is so great that you deplete what the brain can give to comfort you, and your knowledge is so weak that it can't fire the brain up to produce more of what you need in a traumatic time, then here come the dope merchant. Hey, baby. Hey, try this. And we're in so much pain, brothers. After a while, reefer gets to be punk stuff. And you graduate from reefer, you have never been able to afford cocaine like white folks use it, in the powdered form. So some of them went in a laboratory and developed a very inexpensive, chemically produced coke that immediately goes to the pleasure center of the brain. And one hit of it hooks you. Now that's really something. So now crack is flooding our community. And each of you as men know, the more pain you're in, the more drugs you use, your personality begins to get distorted. You're no longer the same person that you were when you were natural or in a natural state. You become an incessant liar. And after a while, your mother and your father become objects to you, not your real parents that you should have love and care and tenderness for. But you see your mother's fur coat and you take it. You see something of value, you take it. And if they try to stop you, you, in the sad state of your mind, would kill your own mother, your own father, your sister, or your brother. Now the black community is filled with pain and filled with drugs. Filled with pain and no power, now filled with guns. Mao Zedong said, power grows out of the barrel of a gun. So when you put a gun in a powerless young black man's hands, he got his hand on something now that gives him power. He's hungry for power. The nature that the Bible said God created him in, God gave him in the beginning power. But the white man took away from you power. Now you're trying to get it back, but you don't know how. So they sell you a gun. You didn't go to the gun store and get it, because they wouldn't sell it to you at the gun store. But you got it on the market, the white market. And they sold you a weapon. And they knew you were not going to be involved in a drive-by shooting in the white neighborhood. You were not going to do carjacking in the white neighborhood. They know that the more guns they put in your hand, you would begin to terrorize your own neighborhood. So it's guns and drugs and jobless men. Guns and drugs and pain-filled men. Guns and drugs and bitter, frustrated men. Guns and drugs and men with no creative mind. Guns and drugs and a man that is not really a man of his own destiny. So, brothers, when you're like this, you don't see the brother sitting next to you as your flesh. Look at the brother sitting next to you. Look behind you and look at all your brothers all the way down. Look at them. Just look at them. Look in front of you and see all these men up here. Do you see yourself as their family? No. No. I came in here tonight. I want to hear Farrakhan. But something happened while you were in the line. You never saw anything like that before. Look at all these black men, man. They lined up all the way to the freeway, wrapped around the building. Nobody arguing, nobody fighting. Look at this, man. Look, look. Whoa, whoa, what is this? And when you sit down, ain't no women in the audience. You ain't rubbing shoulders with another woman that you could check out to see how short her dress is, what her thighs look like. You're sitting next to your brother, so there shouldn't be any sexual stimulation from being close. But out in the hood, it's every man for himself. And so when you got a gun, you feel you got power. You're at home, you call the dog may come.
That's sad. That's sad, brother. That's sad.
You're at home, you call your children, they may come. But when you put out the gun, people start coming to that, what you say you want? Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll give every. That you feel that's real power. And then the kicker is when you squeeze the trigger and you watch the body of your brother gyrate under the heat of a bullet, and you see him cry out, "Oh God," and he gasps, and you watch his life ooze out, and you don't have no feeling for him. You go back home with your boys, you eat a beef burger, a hamburger, a pizza, and you go to bed like you did nothing. But those women that are out there cheering you tonight, they gotta carry their sons to a final resting place. For every black person that you kill, you have wounded whole families. Whole families around. Then you set up vengeance in those that are remaining behind, so they're plotting now to get you. And you know, I watch white folks send a contraption up that circles the earth. I watched them send a telescope up, and it didn't work. And then they sent something else up to correct the telescope. Tens of thousands of miles away. And you mean to tell me they can't correct a condition that is going on in every major city of America? Something is wrong. Now, brothers, you are programmed right now for total destruction. See, when they put out a movie called Boys in the Hood and show us to the world at our worst behavior, when they put a movie out called Menace to Society, and you see your brothers pistol whip a Korean woman, reach over the counter, shoot her, and then go home and take a video camera of it and sit down and laugh at it, and you in the movie laughing at it too. White folk have sent that movie all over the world. And do you know what's being done? White people all over the world and your own black brothers are looking at you through the lens of a movie camera, and they are saying, my God, black people are terrible. The biggest industry in America today is prisons. They're going to build more and more and more. Who they building them for, brothers? It costs nearly $40,000 a year to keep you in jail. They're not interested in giving you education. They like you just like you are, so that 3 strikes, you in for life. And with 3 strikes, they've got a free worker. In other words, another plantation, brothers. You're a slave for the rest of your life. What is it, brother? That's right. That's right. That's right. If you don't want to go with the program, they'll program. And so here you are, programmed for annihilation. And look, brothers, the guns that you have in the community right now is a justification for big tanks to come in the neighborhood. And guess what? Our women are so distraught at the level of violence. Our mayors, our black mayors and white mayors and police chiefs, they're saying, look, we can't handle this. So they're calling for the National Guard. They're calling for reinforcement from the Army. And pretty soon, if this doesn't get turned around, you're going to see your blood running in the gutters, because you're going to run out with your pop gun. And they're going to come in with helicopter gunships and tanks rolling in the community, and you don't have nothing to match it. But this little sense of power that you have is driving you crazy to kill your own. You're menace two. Who's menace one? Who's menace one? If I'm John the second, there gotta be John the first that I come from. If you are menace two, who's menace one? White males have menaced the earth, and now they produce you as a menace to who? to yourself and your own community. So what must be done? There was an ass tied.
Talk about that. Talk about that.
And a young colt was tied with the ass. And Jesus, when he met Peter and the disciples, he said, look, I know you're a fisherman, Peter, but I don't need you fishing in that sea. Follow me, and I'm going to make you a fisher of men. Because our people are in the sea of sin, and somebody has to go after them. But they like the water that they're in. So you got to bait your hook with something the fish like. But fishing with a hook is slow. So Jesus said, cast your net on the right side. Reverend, we got to come with the right stuff. These black men are not here tonight to be played with. They are here tonight because they want to change in their life and they want to change in their community. All praise is due to Allah. So brothers, in 1995, I would like to take 1 million black men to Washington, D.C. Tell our sisters, our wives, our mothers, our grandmothers, sweetheart, this time, please stay at home. Mother, you have always stood for us, and we've never stood up for our families. But we're coming of age now, Mom. And we want to go to Washington and state our case. Our fathers, sweat, blood, and tears built this country. Our fathers and our mothers worked from can't see morning to can't see night with no pay to build the economy of the South, to fuel the economy and the industrial revolution of the North. Mother, wife, sister, auntie, baby. We fought in all America's wars for a freedom that we have never achieved. We fought in the Revolutionary War that made America independent of England. But we don't have any independence ourselves. We are dependent on white people to do for us what we have earned the right to do for ourselves. We fought in the Spanish-American War. We fought in the War of 1812. We fought in the Civil War on the side of the North and the South. We died right alongside of those fighting to maintain slavery. And those who said they were trying to maintain the Union, but in any case, after the Union was maintained, it was back to business as usual. We had congressmen and senators, and we had government representation. But the Night Riders and the KKK took it all away from us. Said, we don't want no niggers in the Congress. We don't want no niggers in high political office. So they killed us. They hung us. They burned us. And when they got in trouble, they called us again to fight in a Jim Crow army. Some of the older ones here that were in World War I, you know you fought Germany. But the German prisoners of war were treated better than the black soldiers who fought for America against Germany. Talk to me. Hitler rose again. World War II. Black men died at Pearl Harbor. Black men died in Guadalcanal, in the Solomon Islands, in the Philippines, at Iwo Jima. Black men died in North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! We died to build America. And America has rebuilt Germany and Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America. We tried to build black organizations to fight for our cause. We, along with whites, made the NAACP, the Urban League, CORE, SNCC. What was the response of our government? Under J. Edgar Hoover and the counterintelligence program of the United States government, they treated us like we were aliens, sending spies and agent provocateurs in among all our black organizations to discredit our black leaders and cause us to fight and kill one another. The government did this using the dollars of our taxes. Martin King stood up to get us out of a segregated state. And men had to die, women had to die, just so others could drink at a fountain or go to toilet in a public place. People had to die for that simple, basic right. Think about the sacrifice that our fathers have made to build America. Think about what government has done to show their contempt for us. I think it's time now that black men stand. I think it's time now that black men put the gun down for the destruction of yourself and your brother. It's time now for us to say to the government of the United States, here we are, here we stand. The black men, the children of slaves that built your country, that fought and died in all your wars. Now look, we don't intend to live in poor housing. We don't intend to live like dogs. You owe us a debt. Germany is paying reparations to the Jews for the Holocaust that the Germans put on the Jews. All Germans didn't do this, but all Germans are being taxed to pay for what was done to the Jews. In 1941, when Japan struck at Pearl Harbor, Japanese Americans were rounded up and sent to concentration camps. And the government admits she was wrong. She was wrong. So they're going to pay reparations to the Japanese. Look at our condition, brothers. Don't we need a repair job? Don't we need somebody to repair our broken heads, our broken hearts, and our broken pocketbooks? Brothers, here's what we have to do. I know our time is late, and I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to say to you that you who feel that you are despised and rejected, that you are the bottom rail, that you are the last, that you and I are a foolish people, God said, I will choose the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. I will choose the things that are not, to bring to naught the things which are. I will choose the despised and the rejected, and the bottom rail will go to the top, and the last shall be the first. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our sight. Whether you know it or not, black man, God has chosen you. Not because of your blackness, but he's chosen you because you have suffered in the furnace of affliction. And now, as Reverend Jackson said, the more you burn gold, you never burn it, you only purify it by removing its dross. You are pure gold, black man, chosen by God now to do a mighty work. There is an ass tied. All right. Somebody's not using the donkey, but God said, go loose him. And if anybody asks you what you're doing, tell them the master has come. He has need of that donkey. Brothers, don't leave. Don't leave. You're gonna miss something if you leave. You're gonna miss this. Whether you want to know it or not, brothers, you are more important than you think you are. This Quran, which is the book of scripture of the Muslims, I would like to read a verse from it. It says, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. O people, keep your duty to your Lord. Let's stop right there. Every man among us knows you owe a duty to God. And you know how I know that you know? Because every one of you and every one of us, when we get in trouble, and each one of us in this room has been in some trouble that's so deep, you call on who? God. Now, when you called on him, brothers, what did you say? What did you say? You said, listen to your words now, God. And when you called him, you were real sincere because the trouble was deep. And listen to what you said. You said, God, if you just get me out of this one time, didn't you say it? How many have said it? Raise your hands. Come on. All right. Now look at what you said you was going to do. You said, God, if you get me out of this one time, I'll serve you for the rest, come on, of my life. You know you said it, and you know you lied. Brothers, when you said it, the Holy Quran says, and when I brought them safely to shore, lo, they set up other gods beside me. Surely man is ungrateful. You forgot. Now, brothers, the Quran says, keep your duty to your Lord, who created you from a single being and created its mate of the same essence. Stop, stop. What does single mean? Is God one? He created you from himself. Oh, you gotta hear this. He created you and me from himself, and he created our mate of the same essence, meaning your woman is from God and you are from God, which means what? That the nature of God is your nature. So every one of you that are from God, and that's all, you are of divine. Your nature is divine. You are the people of God. Let's go a little further. You're black. Are you black because you're cursed? No. No. You're black because you are the first creature that he created. And you took your color from the darkness out of which you emerged. Listen good now. You're not black because you cursed. You're black because you are the original human being from whom all other human beings came. You are the first from God. Can you prove it, Farrakhan? Sure. Y'all all right? When they want to find the origin of man, they don't go to Europe. Where they go? What you say? I didn't hear you. They went to Africa. They found the bones of a man they call Zinjanthropus.